everybody.
Hello there, everybody.
Sam's
Trains here.
Welcome
Welcome back to the railway. Hang on, I think I've got a problem here. Is that better? I think we've got some dodgy audio going on there. Is that better? Hopefully. Anyway, folks, welcome to another lockdown stream. I hope you're all doing okay, ready to see some more engines go through the mill today. I've got at least two to do, I'm hoping. Well, at least one, hopefully two, all being well. But before we get on to that, I better do some shout outs. Hope you're all doing okay. Is everyone all right? Let's see. Sam Haslam, hello to you. Spencer is a snob, says Luke's Locomotives. Oh dear. Yes, you're right. Spencer is kind of a snog. Snob, not snog. I don't want to think about that. Grinferno says 8:15 in Virginia. Oh, nice. Glad to see you're up early, making the most of it. Verdis, echo, echo, echo. Is it better now? Is the echo better? I hope so. Raymond had to, the camera was picking up audio as well. The camera was playing up something rotten before the stream started, so I was frantically resetting everything and I forgot to cancel the audio from it, so that's why that happened. I haven't been demonized, or what's the word? Demonized or something, I don't know. Nice one, hope all it's okay, so says the ugly duck man. Nice to see you, duck man, hope you're doing okay. George Botterini, hello to you too. What's up, Sammy? Says Sharky McSharknose. What's up to you? Hope you're okay. Did you have a good Easter, James Chorley? Yes, I did. I hope everyone else had a good Easter too. Is the camera working? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, well, you will buckle down and we'll see what we can do today. First things first, I thought I would show you the chassis of the last episode. Here it is. Let me get this in shot for you properly, if at all possible, because I've made a few more adjustments to this to improve it. So as promised, I've sort of potted the lower part of it in resin, which means if the motor gets hot, even though it wasn't doing really, I did test it at the end of last episode for quite some time. It wasn't really getting warm, a bit of noticeable warmth, but that was all. Either way, I was a little bit concerned that the hot glue might melt if the motor continued to run like that, so I did put some resin in, and as you can see, it's not glued up the mechanism or anything, it's still free to turn. And I also added a capacitor over the contacts of the motor, see if we can get in there, just for a bit of TV suppression and hopefully to reduce the arcing on the commutator, which should allow the Loco to last a bit longer. None of that stuff affects the performance though, it runs just as it did before, so that is all good. Today then, I'm going to show you the Santa Fe Loco that I showed you last time. I'm going to try and remotor this one as I did the last one. So there's the chassis. I took the body and everything off at the end of last episode so that I could clean it. There's the weight on the underside, that's another part of it. Are you ready to see the body then? I cleaned it all up and repaired it, glued the roof on and such. Ready? Ta-da! There we go, look at that. It looks almost brand new, doesn't it? It was a complete mess when I took it off. It was amazing. I managed to take all the windows out and just properly clean it up with the toothbrush method. Beautiful, no problem whatsoever, and it looks a lot better, I'm sure you'll agree. So hopefully once I get all the motor and the bogies off this, I'll be able to clean up the the chassis. Let me try and get a close-up on this. It's kind of disgusting actually. I don't know what all this stuff is. Looks like HO scale wood clippings or something, wood chippings rather. Don't know what wood clippings are. But yeah, I can't wait to just get the toothbrush on those and really scrub it. I've also got to make some repairs on the handrails because as you can see, 30 years of being in a loft and probably not being looked after have definitely taken their toll on this. So going to have to get the glue out, see if I can fix some of these handrails. In fact, that one is very loose. I think that one's going to come off actually. No, well, I won't pull it off, but it feels like it's going to. So yeah, there's a lot to do if this thing's going to work properly. I'm also obviously going to try and get the 5-pole motor in. I don't know if I said that or not, but that's what I'd like to do. So we'll start the disassembly. I'll just have another look at the chat, see how everyone's doing, because part of the reason I do this is to... Oh my word, that was incredibly loud. Who was that? Oh, it was Trace Pierce. Wait, I'm here, I'm here. Another great week, Sam. Hope you're great, mate. Cheers. H2. Thank you very much, Trace. Yeah, I'm doing great, thank you, yes. And I hope you are as well. Hope everyone's still keeping well, of course. Oh, you've got Galaxy, damn the man. Oh, that's not bad at all. Bunch of guff, says Luke's Locomotives. How very dare you. Remotor this Loco with a full baller. A full Haber motor, please. I don't have anything like that, unfortunately. I wish I did, though. That sounds pretty badass. Okay, so first things first, how the devil do I get the motor out of this thing? I think the first thing is going to be to take the bogies off. I reckon that might be the first port of call. So let me grab a screwdriver, see if I can get them off as I did last time. I need my sort of flattish screwdriver for this. I'm thinking this is going to be very much the same as the last Mehano I looked at. I'm hoping so. So if I just unclip that, that's it. Thing's not broken, has it? No. So there we are, that's the plastic clip. It is slightly different already. The clip holding the bogies on is a little different, but it works under the same principle, I think. Okay, well, obviously I don't have to worry too much about looking after the wires this time, because I know they're coming off, so I might as well just snip them off, if I can. There we go, that's that one. So now I can take this bogie out of the way and service it up when the time comes. Yep, good, good. And we'll take off the shaft here, just for safekeeping. Put that somewhere safe where I won't lose it. Right. Same thing with the other wire then. Let's snip that one off. Yeah, even if the motor works, I'm going to obviously keep it. I'm not going to just get rid of it. But yeah, I'm going to replace it because the performance from that 5-pole motor last time was awe-inspiring, wasn't it? It really was. Incredibly good. Incredibly good. Okay. Oh, we need this wire to the bulb removing. And one day, when I've got time, I will put some LEDs on this, so I'm not going to be worrying about keeping the bulb wired up or anything. So let's put that through. What shall I do about this? I don't remember what I did about this last time, but we've got the wire going to this clip that holds the bogie on. I'll tell you what, just so that it's not in the way, I'll snip that off for the time being, and we'll reattach it at a later date. Well, today, same date, but not right now. Okay, pull the other piece of shaft off. There we are, it's nice. Ooh, D. Rosera 88, thank you so much. Hi Sam, can I gift you an American locomotive for review? I bought a BLI T1 duplex in HO scale. Ended up, that is too loud, I'm going to have to turn that down, it's going to frighten someone. Switching to N scale, it's yours if you're interested in it. Oh, that is really, really kind of you, thank you very much. But I try to source all of my own locos if possible, just because that's the best way to do it, I think. I do truly appreciate it though, thank you very, very much. But I hope you can find a good home for it. No doubt there will be somebody out there that would really love to own that. So yeah, ask around, see if you can find someone that would like to take it off your hands. I'm not being ungrateful by any way, but yeah, you know, I do this for a living. I like to pay my way, you know. And particularly if I didn't like it, I'm sure I would, but I don't want to hurt any of your feelings by giving a negative review on something that you've been kind enough to send me. Oh, bless you, that's very kind. Right, let's do this then. So I'm going to pull the motor mounting off the front here. Oh, it's coming off actually quite easy. I think that's what's holding it in. So let's take off the adapter for the shaft if I can, although this thing's come off and got in the way now. Oh, that's all right. So that's off. Put that with the rest of the shaft pieces because I don't want to lose that. And then this piece should come off, right? Okay. Then the motor should go forwards, I'm thinking. Maybe this needs to come out entirely. I'm not going to need this part because it ain't, well, maybe it will fit on the replacement motor. I won't poo-poo that idea, but I doubt it. Ah, easy peasy. Okay. Well, that motor, everybody say goodbye to it. Bye-bye. Don't need you again. Well, we'll see. So, I'm going to clean this up, but I'm interested to know how likely is it that I'm going to be able to actually fit one of those 5-pole motors to this. I'm wondering that, because obviously there's a little bit less space involved with this one, so a bit concerned that I won't be able to get it in there. So let's just do a little bit of a test and find out. So there we go. Obviously I'll need to trim the shafts of the motor down a little bit, but that's doable in a minute. There we go. Just taking off one of the tabs so that it's not all big and in the way. So I think this should fit quite nicely. Oh, it does. It's like it was made for them. That's excellent. We're going to have to take off these clips here, unfortunately. I didn't like having to take pliers to the last one. Let's get this sticker off the motor for a start. Yeah, I didn't like having to take snips to it and breaking bits off, but as you saw last time, the results were, I think, worth it, easily worth it. So that's going to fit on roughly like that. Whereabouts did the shaft start on the old motor? So yeah, the clips are going to have to get right out of the way. I do think though, that clip that came off, where was it, that goes in there, I do think that might be repurposable to hold the motor. It's still going to need hot glue because these clips have got to go, but what do you reckon, that might actually be doable? Let's try. So these clips are going to have to come off. I'm not sure how to go about filing those down actually. It's looking difficult, but let's see how that is. We are going to have to file those, I believe. I'll try and take as much off as I can with the snips. But yeah, I think the file's going to be the friend for this. But then hopefully, I mean, we might as well mount it the way it was before. Hopefully at least then we'll be able to level up the shaft perfectly. Yeah, that looks good. Right, let's get the file then. Might as well do the dirty bits before I clean it, because obviously it's just going to get all dusty and nasty again. So I need the rounded file, if I've got such a thing. Yes, here it is. Ta-da! Looks alright, doesn't it, that? So, the only thing is, how do I do this without destroying the already badly damaged handrails? Difficult. Part of me wants to grab the soldering iron and just melt it out of the way. I think the file is the right approach. That's it. Maybe the rounded file isn't such a good idea. Maybe I could just file it straight down. Well, we'll give the rounded one a bit of a go. Oh, I've knocked off one of the handrails already. That's all right. I knew that was going to drop off. Yeah, I reckon the flat file might be best. I'm not bothered about it being rounded. If I can take that surface straight down, that's fine. Right, let's try this one. I think this might be better. Yep, seems a bit better. It's going to be a bit tedious though, isn't it, this? Tedious. Maybe might want to use the rotary tool on this, but we'll give it a go. Oh, it's happening, it's happening. It's incredible how little work is involved in this, isn't it, in these conversions. Right, that's all that's required, literally, that's it. Fab. Right, other side. Got to go easy to start with while you make the shape. And just file it down. Not bad. It's making odd squeaking noises. Right, a bit further. These are good files. I bought these from Wilco. They're only about a £5, probably less. I used them for a long time. Okay, probably be safe just to do a bit extra. And then we'll be able to see if that motor clip fits. Yeah, there's something nice about being able to repurpose all the original parts, isn't there? I mean, I'm not going to go to any special length to be able to do that, but if possible, it's not a bad idea, is it? Right, I'm just looking for a paintbrush that I can use to dust this off. Excuse me 1 second. There we are. Right, excuse me, I'm just going out of shot for a sec while I just dust this off. I'll dust off as much of the model as I can while I'm doing this. Get rid of some of that debris so I can clean it better. Man, the handrails are in a terrible state. But like I say, the Mehano one that I bought, that was in a terrible state because it hadn't been packed properly. So I'm confident that with a bit of tedium I should be able to fix it, but we'll see. Right, how's that going to sit? That's nice. That sits beautifully, in fact. Right, moment of truth then. Will this thing actually fit? Or is the shaft height slightly different? No, it fits. It's not much, it's not doing much. I don't think I'll keep it. But it did fit. There we are. Yeah, it's not going to hold it in place, so I might as well get rid. But it is useful to line those up. So good, that's really good. Right, okay, so we'll deal with the motor. We'll trim the shafts down like I did last time in a second. But first of all, let's get some IPA on my toothbrush, which sounds desperately unhealthy. Don't try that at home. But on my non-oral toothbrush, let's get it on here and see if I can clean some of this cack off it before we get it going. There we go. And now that the motor and all the assembly's out of the way, I can get on the inside of it without disturbing the handrails too much. If I can help it, I don't want to break off as many. When do you think I should repair the handrails? I didn't ought to do it really, did I, until I've finished the mechanical side of things, because I'm just going to break them again and I won't have the, well, I was going to say I wouldn't have the patience to wait for the glue to dry, but it's more just not wanting to bore everyone to tears on stream. So maybe we'll do that last. It's not a bad idea. Okay, well this is looking good. That's most of it off. It's looking better already. How's the underside? The underside's not bad, but give it a quick one as well. All right, very good. Okay, so now that I've done that, let's just have another go at this corner. Satisfying, folks. You should try this. It's great therapy. Right, excellent. Happy with this. I've got a good feeling about it. I've got a good feeling. It doesn't normally mean much. It could go either way, regardless of my feelings. But yeah, I mean, I've got a good feeling. That's all I need to say right now. Okay, Sharpie then. I'll do what I did last time. I've decided that I was a bit near the mark, wasn't I, when I trimmed these shafts last week. So I'm going to leave a little bit extra on them this time. Only a tad, perhaps a couple of millimetres. I know I probably don't need to, but it's much better than taking off too much, and then obviously there's no way of getting shaft back on it. So where is the motor I took off? I need to make sure I have got the correct one. They are the same, it looks like. Let's just get the other shaft piece off. Somebody told me last time what the name of these shafts were. They've got a special name apparently, but I've forgotten what it was. If you know, let me know in the chat. Ooh, this adapter's a little bit tight. There we are. I was frightened of it flying off and pinging away, but nope, it's come off nicely. Right, so that goes that way, so let's orient that nicely, and this one went on that way, I believe. Right, so line up the ends like so, and then with the file we can figure out where we're supposed to be. So I'll make a mark right there, and I'll cut a little bit beyond that mark, although I think my mark's a bit too far off anyway. What do you think? Yeah. All I want to do is give it a bit extra, and on this side it might need quite a lot extra, because as you can see the shaft is longer on the other one because the motor's shorter in length. And what happened was, when I put the adapter on, it was a bit uncomfortably close to the actual motor. I didn't want it to snag, so let's go with a mark there, and I'm probably going to cut it more like there, because what happens with these shafts is they can slide in and out on the adapters, which means, unless, I didn't actually check this, but unless they're mounted right up to the hilt like that, if Mark's watching, please don't go there, Mark, but if they are mounted like that, then obviously, yeah, you can't be any longer. But assuming they're not, I've got a little bit of wiggle room there, which is probably helpful. So this is the part I'm not that keen on, the dremeling part, because I worry about losing a finger or an eye or both, and that's not obviously a very nice thing to have to worry about. So let's get a drink. I've just spotted my missing paintbrush. It was a bigger, better brush actually, so if I need to do any more brushing, I can use that. How's everyone in the chat? Anybody got any words of good luck before I mess this up? Hopefully not. Fabian268 says hello. Max Lowry, hello to you as well. Hi David Brett and iFender, nice to see you as well. Right, come on Sam, we've got lots to do today. Let's not procrastinate. Right, goggles on. That's very, very important. If you're doing anything with rotary tools, definitely get some goggles. Mine didn't cost me much, and you know, if it protects your eyesight, it's worth much more than that. Right, just need to plug my Dremel in, bear with me. Well, I think it is plugged. No, it isn't. Right, hot glue gun. I was very organised and plugged in my hot glue gun ready, but I'd forgotten that I needed to use the Dremel first, so it's got to come back out. I tried to be helpful to myself, but it didn't work. Right, we get some cotton buds at the ready because I like to try and cool this as I go, otherwise it might melt the motor insides. Probably won't happen realistically, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Okay, nope, still no power. You've got to switch it on, Sam. See that switch? There we go. Right, get there in the end, folks, don't worry. Okay, let's do it. Okay, right, let's cool that off. That's about the halfway mark, more or less. Ooh, tss, what a hiss. Oh, that stinks. I'll tell you what, we'll get the vac on that before we continue, because it's actually worn away the Dremel disc slightly. Oh dear. And yes, you're quite right, whoever was in the chat last week, it is a Draper, not a Dremel. It's just, people seem to call rotary tools Dremel, whatever the brand is. That's it, it's off. Okay, cool that off a little bit. It's cool the, oh my word, that was noisy. Yeah, it just makes you realise what would happen to your fingers if you touch that. Creates some quite serious heat, does that Dremel. It's quite scary. Right, other end then. This is going swimmingly, isn't it, so far? Okay, let's cool it off. I went for quite a while there, I got a bit brave I think. That's it. Oh, we're very nearly through that one actually. Oh, I didn't go too far, did I? Well, the motor's still free to turn, so I don't think I did. Right, try again. That's it, it was off. With hindsight, I probably could have just gotten through that, couldn't I, in one go? Right. So, for some reason, that has made an awful lot of dust. It didn't really seem to last time, but obviously I don't want to be puddling that around as I'm working, so I think I'm going to just grab my mini vac. People wanted to see my mini vac last time for some reason. I don't know why. But sure, if you've got some sort of mini vac fetish and you really like to see it, I will grab it for you. Here we go. I don't know what brand this is, but it is very, very good. I bought it on Amazon. And bought my dad one as well because it was that good. The only thing is, if you suck up plaster crumbs with it, it does clog up the filter quite quick. But besides that, it's very good. Right, here it is. Battery powered, oh gosh. Filling the frame somewhat, that's it. That's what you're looking for. If you want a good vac, I can recommend this one. Right, here we go. Job's a good one. There we go. Very good that. Lasts a long time as well. And charges up quick as well, which is obviously quite important. Right, put that back on. Okay, can proceed. So let's put those adapters onto the motor, make sure they fit nicely. I think they should. I was more careful this time to not cut the shafts too short. But that might mean that I need to shorten them a bit later on, but again, that's all right. Okay, so that one goes on there. They are identical. I did verify that last time. Although, that one's not going on that easy. Let's try the other end first. Might need to file them down if they're a bit rough. Yeah, that one's gone on well. You want them to be a good fit. I mean, if you're putting them on too easily, obviously that's not a good thing. So yeah, I don't mind a bit of a fight getting them on there. Yeah, there's no bits of, I was expecting to have some sort of flashing around it, stopping me putting it on, but no, there doesn't seem to be. Ooh. Yes, the last thing I want is to damage this trying to put this on. Oh no, no, it's on. Phew. That would have been an annoying problem to have, wouldn't it? Good. Right, let's test the motor then, now that we've done all this work on it. Hopefully it will still work. I'm a lot happy with this. There's a bit more, I don't know, leg showing, so to speak. So we're not going to get too close to the actual motor bearings. Ready? Oh yeah, look at that. Great. Yeah, that's good. This one looks a bit on the wonky side. That's better. As long as, I guess, as long as the ball in the centre is not eccentric or otherwise, yeah, it should be fine. Okay, good. So that is going to sit approximately, well, exactly there, like that. And hopefully the body will fit on. I did measure the motors last time, and the one I'm putting in is slightly slimmer than the one that used to be there. So I don't think there'll be a problem. And that's assuming the body fits without any clearance at all. And I'd expect there to be some. Cool. Right. How's everyone doing? Oh, Max is off. Okay. See you, Max. Have a good time. Hi, Gate Crash Guitar. Choo choo, said David Brett. Choo choo to you too. Right. So the chassis can go out the way for now. Right, let's grab one of the bogies at random then. Here's one of them. It's exactly the same, isn't it? Definitely. Have we got any tyres on this one? Ah, this one doesn't have ridges in the wheels for traction tyres. Oh, good. So that's even better. This could be even better than the last. That would be nice. We've still only got 2 pickups per rail though, it seems, which is, well, it is what it is. It's a bit naff, isn't it? But it's not, as we saw last time, it's not the end of the world. The bogie clip on this one is cracked, which is a shame. I guess I could glue it, but normally when you glue them, they just break straight back off again. Oh, that one's come off completely actually. So I'll have to see about that. Is that actually going to stay on now? Might do. I reckon I could probably repair that. Let's do a bit of prep for that right now. Because what I'll do is I'll reassemble it and then I'll glue a piece on top of that to keep it on. Like that. Okay. Yes, well at least I didn't break, well I mean I did, I finished it off, but at least it was broken already, at least I've not damaged it. Okay, fine, let's move that out of the way then. I won't put anything on right now because it's going to break off straight away as soon as I put it under any stress. But yeah, we'll glue that together at some point. Right, clean all that lubricant off. There's thick lubricant stuck on the bottom of that, so we'll get rid of it. Okay, yet another reason that is why I complain about bases that clip on instead of use screws, because if you use a couple of screws, I mean this is cheap enough, these Locos are cheap enough so that it's not a big complaint, but with more expensive models there's no real excuse for it, is there? Right, there we are, put that to dry. Let's have a look at the actual wheels. Well, let's deal with the axles first. So where's the other driven one? There we go. So it really is the same setup. We've got 2 driven axles and 1 dummy that really does nothing. It doesn't pick up, it doesn't drive. It's literally just there because it had to be. So I wonder, did Mehano make any Bobo locomotives? Because that would be really good. These bogies would be great for that. Well, you'd need a different bogie, obviously, but the mechanisms would be good. Okay, there we are. Let's just get that. There's a big clump of something stuck around this axle. to get that off. Okay, good. So that one's clean. We got rid of the lubricant. The insides of these bogies are quite remarkably clean, given how filthy the outer Loco is. I know that is intuitive, it makes sense, but with the other Locos I've looked at from this collection, they've all been filthy on the inside, perhaps more so than on the outside. I didn't know why that was. The model barn, for example, that was just a complete cackfest on the inside, wasn't it? But no, this one's not so bad. We are. Okay, axles are clean, and I will probably clean the wheels once they're back on the chassis, because it's simpler to do it that way. Okay, move the wheels then. Let's have a look at the actual chassis itself. The pickups are looking a little bit on the bent side, but I think they'll be fine. Okay, IPA on the toothbrush. Let's clean that off. Careful not to destroy the pickups. Although actually these are really simple pieces. I could probably replicate that if I wanted to. We won't try that. Hopefully it won't come to that. Okay. And I've filled up my syringe, by the way, of silicone grease. I think that's the one. So I've got more grease to hand. Hopefully it won't splurge everywhere. Sometimes when I've just filled it up, it does tend to sort of splurge accidentally. So we'll see about that. Oh, do you know what? Is this the same mechanism? I'm not 100% convinced of that now. Hang on, I've pulled the adapter off the driver. You know, that doesn't look the same, does it? Can anyone remember? I want to pull up the previous stream to check. Did we have one big gear like that before? Can't remember it. Shouldn't matter, I don't think. It is a slightly different design. I've figured that out already. Right. Get rid of these. It was running nice and freely anyway, so no big concerns. Ugh, looks like I've been digging in somebody's ear with that. Sorry, that actually was disgusting. Apologies for that. Hopefully the Mehano brand don't really lubricate their models with earwax. That would, oh God. Stop talking about earwax, Sam, it's gross. Right, okay. It's gone, folks. You can look again, you can open your eyes. What I am going to do is refill my bottle of IPA because it's getting a bit on the empty side. One sec. Is anyone? There's a few people saying bye in the chat. Got weak stomachs. Gone. Oops, I've dripped quite a lot of that on the floor. Let's hope there are no naked flames about. Right, okay, continue. Let's clean out the bearings then. All these slots where there should be bearings if it was a more quality model, I suppose. But no, I can't knock the Mehano brand. I really can't, because the models run really well and they might not be the best quality in the world, but you know what? They don't charge the earth. I think that has to be applauded, doesn't it? It really does. Okay, that's good. Let's make sure those pickups are nice and clean then. They look all right, actually. The toothbrush must have done a fairly good job. Clean the front and back of them, just because I can see there's filth on the back of them. Right, and that's good. Nice. So let's get some silicone grease on those gears. Hang on, silicone. Here it is. Right. So let's splurge a little bit down onto that other gear. That's it. Hopefully that will reach it, and then we'll put some on this one. You want plenty. It seems the manufacturers use quite a lot. Don't know whether that's a good thing or not, but it seems to be. So we'll work that in. Yes, it is touching the other gears there, which is good. Right, so I've rotated that down out of the way, so as soon as we start running it, hopefully this will all work its way in. Right, the pickups are adjusted to be making good contact, which is good. Can anyone remember whether there was one big gear like this running on the inside? I might have just misremembered, but yes, doesn't seem familiar. It was a while ago though, wasn't it? Please shout me out, says Oliver Beardsall. There you go. I interested, says Gate Crash Guitar. Okay, okay. And what's Duckman been saying, Matty? Has he been up to his old tricks again? I wouldn't be surprised. Right, a little bit of oil then on the axles. Keep those running nice and free. Yeah, those bearings, I've got to say, look at that. It's not bad, is it? It's quite some freeness there. Okay, let's put on the base then. And clean the unpowered wheels. Do that bit right now. We'll save, like I did last time, we'll save the powered wheels until I'm ready to actually run the thing. And we'll clean it that way. Oh man. How come these unpowered wheels get so dirty? They must be taking quite a bit of weight, mustn't they? Look at that, filthy. And then I'll make a quick repair to the bogie. See if I can't get it to stay on. Shouldn't affect the performance too much, but obviously you don't want parts hanging off the thing. That would be really rubbish, wouldn't it? Right, if you don't like botches, if botches annoy or offend you, you might want to look away, because I'm about to effect quite a cheap fix. But hopefully it will be effective. Right. So let's dry the area in question. I've already roughened it up with the file, so that should be okay. And this should hold it all together until, of course, the next time I come to service it, and then it will be a nightmare. But you can just make the same repair again, I would think. Right. So I need to support that. Let's get some Lego brick. Or sorry, not Lego brick. I know it isn't actually Lego brand. Let's put it across the bottom like that. That's it. And then we'll probably just take a bit of brass or something like that, because that's strong, isn't it? I'll just find my cutters so I can cut a fine strip off. Oh, this is going to be a 20-minute search again. It's not this bad normally when I've not got all the camera stuff set up, but like I say, it puts me upside down a little bit. Hang on, I'll find them. Or I suppose I could just use scissors if I find those first. I've got my good scissors around. Well, I'll definitely need scissors, whatever I'm doing. Right, what did I do with them? That's it, that's the rest of the stream sorted, folks. Sam's looking for scissors. Yeah. That's really annoying, actually, because I had 2 pairs up here at some point. Alright, you just amuse yourselves for a second, folks. I will find the scissors and come back to you. What? Does this happen to anybody else, or is it just me? Put something down and you can't ever find it again. Ah, they're underneath the iPad that I have up for the chat. Of course they are, of course. Right, I'm just going to cut off a small strip. That's it. Now we'll shape it to the right size. Let me zoom in so I can show you exactly what needs to be done. Perhaps another brick would be a good idea. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to bridge a piece over this, which will keep the bogie from dropping off. So I'm just going to straighten the piece of brass out in the vise. I need to figure out what length I need. As you can see, I estimated the width and got that 100% spot on. We need to cut it off about there. So we'll do that. Do it that way so it doesn't fly off everywhere. Okay, now let's put it back in the vise, make sure I've flattened it. I suppose if I was clever I could put a bit of a bow onto it so that it puts some pressure on the chassis and holds it in place, but yeah, I'm not too bothered about doing that. Okay, and now I'm going to file the bottom of it and then clean it with some IPA so that it's roughened up, because super glue will work better if you've roughened the surface first. So let's do that. And it's a good temporary fix. It only works, this, I've done this before with some backmans, this only works because you're not putting any pressure on this joint. If it was something that obviously was holding any sort of weight, then it wouldn't work, but because it's just holding a piece in place, it should be all right. Okay, so that's going to sit on there when the time comes. Yeah, that looks good. Right, let's clean off both pieces then, and I'll glue it on. Easy peasy. Or will it be? We'll see. Better not start gloating that it was easy peasy until we've done it. Right, so the secret to this is going to be a tiny amount of glue. Obviously if you use too much it just won't go off and you'll be waiting for hours. So let's grab a needle. There you go, we're going to use this needle later on when I'm fixing the handrails probably, but you apply glue with a needle, you can never get too much. I did find my old glue that I was looking for, by the way. Don't know why. I opened a new one actually, you know, when I couldn't find it and I was searching, I just opened a new one, I got fed up with it, and as soon as I did that, I found the old stuff again. And then funnily enough, I've gone and lost the new one that I opened. It is typical of me, unfortunately. Oops. Yeah. Shove that on. Good. That should be a fix. I do like doing silly little botchy fixes like that. One amusing thought is, you know, when I'm dead and gone and someone inherits all this stuff, occasionally they're going to find little things like this and it's going to annoy them, and that will hopefully bring me joy in the afterlife. No, not really. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Right, I'm going to just carefully move this out the way so that I don't accidentally touch it while I'm doing the other bits. So I'm just going to put this on the table behind me. That's it. There we go, job's a good one. Let's see if it holds. I bet you any money it'll drop straight off again next time. Right, let's try not to damage the other one. Oh, and I've got the coupling as well. Drat. You know what, no, I don't want couplings on both ends anyway. That's something that does my head in very slightly. Okay. Is this one broken? No, this one doesn't appear to be broken, so if I'm lucky and I get it off without snapping, I wonder if the plastic's gone brittle on these. Anyway, if it doesn't break as I'm taking it off, it should be okay. Oh no. Yeah, no, it has broken actually. So have I done that, or was it just broken and it didn't look like it? I don't know, but we'll have to do the same fix on that then. Excellent. Well, never mind. That's funny because the other one didn't do that at all. Mind you, it didn't take as much pressure from the screwdriver to get the other one off, so I guess that might be why. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's do the same little fix. Oh, that's annoying. I hate when those bases break. Must be very brittle though, so I was careful that time. Extra careful. Not to worry, not to worry. This lubricant is horrible. I hate the lubricant that goes crusty over time. I wonder if my silicone grease will. Not sure. Doesn't matter too much. It's easy enough to clean off. It's just a bit time consuming, I suppose, if anything. Clear the gears out. There we go. Might as well do the same with this one actually. The toothbrush is actually much better for doing this. It's better for cleaning the axles, quicker too. Go on then, let's do the non-driven one with it as well. I like your reviews, says Yanis Lee. Thank you very much, I'm glad you do. I've got some more coming soon. Be careful with those plastic gears. Ugh, says Geared Productions. I will be careful. I'll try to be. Okay, let's clean up this gross chassis. It's not a chassis, is it? The base, whatever. Let's get all the earwax off it. It's quite a lot actually. Yeah, they seem to use a lot more lubricant than I put on. But you do tend to see that. I've had a few Hornby Locos this last year or two that have had quite a lot of lubricant on. but I tend to think they might know best, so have I put in too little on? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think you need a lot, do you? Right, that's good. Let's try and file these down a bit. Oh, that's it, that's working. Okay, so that should be super glue compatible when the time comes. Let's just clean that off. Get rid of the mess I've made. And that should be ready. Okay, put that to one side. Let's scrub the actual chassis. This part is the chassis, I can call this a chassis now. It's going nice and close. Yeah. These are nice, I must say. They're very serviceable, aren't they? Besides the clips. I suppose if there were more screws involved, I might consider it more serviceable. But yeah, overall, they're not bad at all. Not too bad. Don't like the look of this wire, though. Might get rid of that entirely. Put my own on. What do you reckon? Shall I do that? Yeah, it's going to need a longer wire anyway, isn't it? So I think I may as well. I'll whip that off now then, while we've got the thing open. So I might not get such good access to it after this. Right. Can I get to that solder joint? Yes, I think so. Got to be careful here not to melt the thing. But hopefully I won't. Are we close to anything? Ooh, it's right next to... Yes, it's right next to the shaft of that driving gear. So I've got to be very careful here. I suppose I could take it out, but you won't. I don't think I'd get it back in if I took it out. So if I put it under tension, hold it like that. So the wire's now under tension because I've trapped it underneath the chassis. So if I now tin up the soldering iron, as soon as I contact it, it should ping off, hopefully. No, it didn't ping off. That's it, got it. Okay, the holding is a little bit melted, but I think it's going to stay. Right, let's just put some fresh solder onto that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Mr. Jodge, welcome. Welcome to the engineers. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for the support, Mr. Jodge. Right, let's get that horrible wire out of the way. Let's put some new on. I bet you can guess what colour the wire is going to be, if you've been watching. Yep, I've got my favourite green spool. So let's give it plenty and trim it down later when I know exactly how much I need. But like I say, I've got goodness knows how many meters of it, so I don't mind wasting a few centimetres. In fact, I never do. Any offcuts of wire, as long as they're longer than perhaps an inch or two, I put into a box, or a bag more specifically, and I use them when I need a little length. But I need quite a substantial length for this, obviously, because it's a bit more involved. So I'm just tinning up the end. I know you can't see this. Tinning up the end, snip off the excess. Ready, snip that bit off. Tin up the iron again, and hopefully just melt them together. Easy. And the mountings are all still intact, more or less. Right, let's carry on cleaning this out then, and then I'll put it back together hopefully. And we'll see if the other bogey's glued, and then I'll know whether this one's going to work or not. So I won't put my piece of brass away. This one looks a bit more dirty. That's strange, is it just me? I suppose if it was slung in the box, it could have been in at an angle, and maybe this one was closer to being exposed. Don't know, it doesn't sound very feasible, does it? Doesn't much matter. Pickup's nice and clean. Okay. Must say though, there's not so much earwax all over the gears. I can't see any on this one. That's incredible. Good. Well, that saves us all another dry retch, doesn't it, for another day? Good. Right, let's put some lubricant on there then. What have I done with my silicone grease? There it is. Okay, so let's get some down to that gear in the back. Don't know if that worked or not, hopefully. Bit extra on there. There we go. That seems like plenty, doesn't it? Again, it doesn't seem like that's as much as they were putting on originally, but I think it should suffice. Right, wind that out the way. These axles all right. They're not looking perfectly clean. I'm going to just do it again just to be safe. And then I think what I'll do is for the motor mounting, assuming all goes well, I will just do what I did last time and put some epoxy on later, but hold it temporarily with hot glue. And then what I did was I kept the hot glue there because the hot glue holds it in place while the epoxy goes off, which is actually quite good because you can position it first, verify that it works, and then add the epoxy. And the epoxy is pretty much permanent. I wouldn't like to try and get it off because it was araldite that I used, which is quite, it's quite defiant, let's say, if ever you try to remove it. So it actually worked really, really nicely what I did. Provided, of course, you don't get any araldite on the bearings of the motor, because that would end things somewhat, wouldn't it? Right, well, I do need the coupling on this one. So I've got this impossible task now of holding the bogie and the coupling and the base. So I need a third hand, really. So that, how does this go again? That's it. So I can slide that in first. And then that goes on like that, right? Right. Okay. And now I'm going to go and borrow the Lego bricks from the other bogie, which should now have gone off. Well, the glue's holding, apparently. So as long as I'm really, really careful, it should all stay together, I'm thinking. Okay, that's good. Right, let me cut myself another piece. Another little piece of brass. Make it a bit shorter than the last one. Hopefully I'll get it the right length first time. See if my powers of estimation are getting better. I've got great admiration for people that can do that. You know, you just see a piece. They can do it with all sorts, with like pieces of wood and that. Just, you know, look at a gap that they need to fill. And some people can just get it spot on. How do they do it? Right. Yeah, well, I must be one of those people. No, I'm not. I just got lucky. So there we go. That's going to fit nicely. Let's grab the file then and wear a bit of that off. Oh yeah, this file's good. Okay. I know you can't see this too well. Just rough it up and the not hot glue. Yeah, I wouldn't fancy doing this with hot glue. And the glue should bind to it a little bit better. So that's it, the ends are done. Right, let's straighten it again, although it still looks pretty straight. Right, a little bit of cotton wool again. Oh, Kelly Ashford, the story I sent to you was a crazy idea. Sorry if it offended you. Just make believe, not true. Oh, I did notice you'd sent me another story, Kelly, via email. I haven't read it yet though, so yes, no spoilers. She did send me one the other day, folks, where somehow I was pregnant and I gave birth to a baby here in the loft. Yes, it was all a bit disturbing, I have to say, but quite amusing nonetheless. Right, so that piece is going to fit right. It's not actually perfectly straight. So I'm going to just straighten this a bit more in the vise because I don't want it to be at a wobbly angle. And the flatter the better really for this. Where's my pliers? There we are. That's it. The other one was flat straight away. This one has a bit of a twist in it somehow. That better? Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's apply some glue, same as before. Quite pleased with this. It's like things can go wrong, but nothing's standing in the way. Shouldn't say that though, because I've got to fit the motor now. If I get it in the wrong place, I have a feeling the body's not going to go on, which would not be very good. But like I say, initially I'm only using hot glue, so I can quite easily remove it. Okay, glue is in position. That should be all I'll need the super glue for now, so I can pop that out of the way. And then let's put my little retainer on there, and hopefully that will stay there. Good. Excellent. Right. So, what to do now then? What to do? Really, I don't want to be putting the motor in there until the bogies are on. But the bogies need a bit more time to go off, don't they? So what to do now? Well, I might start repairing some of these handrails then. I won't start gluing big bits on, but you know, these that have just got splits in them. That might be worth doing right now. What do you reckon? Yeah, we'll do a bit of that just for a few minutes. Like I say, I don't want to do some of the really fragile parts because I'm just going to break them again as I'm faffing around with it, but I've got some time to kill. If I have to redo it, I suppose that's fine, but if some of them hold, then more power to me. Okay, bit of glue on the needle. Let's part the handrails. I've literally just said I'm putting the glue away now. I forgot about this bit. Okay. This is going to be awkward, isn't it? I'm going to have to sit and hold that. I'm not that keen, I must say, on these plastic handrails. They're not very good, are they? Right, that one's holding. Right, there's another one over here. Let's try this one. See if I can bend it into shape a bit more first. No, not really. So that's going to need gluing in two places. Well, three, in fact. That one's broken too. Yes. Not the best. These are very frustrating, aren't they? But then again, it's been slung in a box. It's not had good care taken of it, so can't say I'm very surprised. Maybe I'm silly trying to do this now, but it just fills a bit of time, doesn't it? Okay, 3 points. Yeah, I've not got a good feeling about this one. I don't think this one's going to stay. It's that one is bent. Right, I've got to try and keep my fingers perfectly still while that glue takes hold. You know, I think that might hold if I'm holding it there. Let's have a look, see if I can see what anyone's saying. Marcus, is it Marcus? You read an article, what was that? Metal handrail sections, Sharky. Yeah, that would be good. It is a shame that they didn't use metal to start with, but again, for the price, it's not bad, is it? Right, that's sort of holding. See if that stays there. The other breakages, I think I'm going to save until the whole thing's back together. Okay, so let's go and grab the bogies and see if I can't put those back together and try assembling this thing. I mean, this is more of a mechanical restoration, so I'm thinking I might worry about the aesthetics of the thing a little bit more after I've actually verified that it's going to work, I think. So, here we are. Newly repaired bogies, lubricated and ready to go. I probably ought to put some oil on the bearings at the back, actually. That's it. And at the front while I'm at it. There's no motor to worry about. That's another good thing. You can put as much oil onto the wheel set areas as you like, because it's obviously not going to get to the motor, although you don't want too much, obviously, because then you've got cack everywhere. So, which is the actual front of the model? I think that's right, isn't it, the way I had it? Yeah. So, this is the back then. So I want the piece with the coupling to be fitted here. Is that going to be possible? Let's take off this shaft, or the adapter, try and get that in. Yeah, that went in nice and easy. Try not to damage the handrails I've just repaired. Right, and then we need the clip which holds it on. Which end was the bulb on? I think the bulb was on the cab end, wasn't it? Again, it doesn't matter at all, but which way did this go on? I don't expect it really matters. No, it didn't matter. Okay, well that's pivoting nicely. Okay, let's do the other one then. The adapters need to come off, it seems. Okay, let's pull the wire through first. Maybe one day I'll take this apart again and give the chassis an even better clean. But yeah, it's difficult to get to it all because of the stupid handrails. But that's all right. Okay, there we are. And now we want the piece with the bulb on it, don't we? And I'm going to pull, oops, I'm going to take the wire straight off that bulb because it's annoying and unnecessary. So that can go, and that clips over there. Yeah, that's good. So the bogies are now fitted, which is good. And then what I can do is put that adapter on. I'm getting nervous now. What I also need is the hot glue gun switching on, because this is the moment of truth. Bear with me, I'm just going to go and pop it on. Needs to warm up, obviously. And then once it's all verified as working, I will mix up some epoxy, well, after the stream, because I want to test it, won't I? But after the stream I'll mix up some epoxy and stick it in place. Ooh. Okay, so this one is going to be mounted. Which way do I want to do it now? That way, I believe, which is a bit of a problem because I need to solder one of the wires to it then before I mount it in place. But first, let's just practice with the shafts. So let's put the shafts on and just see if the lengths are going to be right, because if they're not, obviously I'll need to modify the shafts on the motor, or perhaps even mount it in the opposite direction, but we'll see about that. So that has to turn until it goes in. That's annoying. Why isn't that going in? Oh, it is. Okay, other side. Like that. Then the motor's going to be on its side. And it needs to be glued about like that. As you can see, there's some give on there. Can I get this in shot? There is some movement there. So if I glue it roughly halfway between the 2 points, so between there and there. So if I glue it about there, that should be perfect. Okay, that's all right then. So I've managed not to get this green wire accurate, so we'll just have to sort that out. And then I'll probably just solder it on and then proceed with the motor fitting. Right, I'm just going to whip this bogie back off because I was silly and I didn't pull the wire through first for some reason. That was my own silly fault. Oh, this piece, I tell you what, this piece has got a bit of a crack to it as well. I've only just noticed that. You see that? So I might just try and repair that for now. Put a little bit of glue on that. Not too worried about this because I reckon you could quite easily find a different method of attaching that bogie, but I'll try and repair the original one if I can. So a bit more glue. Well, it's not broken, but obviously a crack like that is going to break one day, isn't it? So might as well fix it. Let's get some glue in there. Yeah, it's a right old crack, that. Okay, I think I'm going to put that in the vise actually and just clamp it. There we are, put that under tension. Dab off the excess glue, and that won't be just a minute. Right. Rightio. Here we go then. Let's pull the bogie back out, take off the adapter just for a sec. Pull this wire through. You can tell I'm getting nervous about fitting this motor because I've lost the art of conversation suddenly. Right. Adapter can go back on. Actually, if it won't fall out again without that adapter, or with the adapter rather, I can wire this on and not worry about the bogie dropping out. So let's snip the wire there. Let's try and get this in shot properly if I can. There we are. Strip the wire back if I can find the strippers. Yep. Just grab it with the pliers, I think. That's it. Stripped. Just throw the end in the bin. It does my head in when I get them all over the floor, so I collect them up as I go. Just grab that in the helping hand and we'll give that a bit of tin. And I'll also want to put one of those capacitors across the motor as well. This is going to be difficult to do, I think. Right, snip that off. Like so. Now we're going to tin up the motor. I'm going to pick whichever's going to be the bottom. Not worrying about polarity right now, I can always fix that at a later date before I epoxy the motor in, I guess. So let's just get this thing going first, if possible. So let's tin up the contact there, that's it. And now I'm going to have the difficult job of soldering both a capacitor and the wire onto the motor. There was a hole I could have used, but I've soldered over that now, so that's no good. How's everyone doing in the chat? What's that weird noise I keep hearing, says Kelly. I couldn't tell you that. Is there a weird noise, folks? I'm not sure. Right. I wish could have Sam's train's E2 tank engine, but he will say, Bo. Bo. You barn't about it. It's like Brian Bedondi. Right. So let's tin up the capacitor. These ceramics aren't polarised, so you can put them on any way you fancy. So that can go on. I might as well tin up both legs. Right. And that one. We'll solder that one. And then somehow I've got to get the wire on there without the capacitor dropping off, and I expect it's going to. Oh well, I guess it didn't. I'm not complaining, of course. Okay, and the rest I can do once the motor's in, I reckon. So let's give this a shot, shall we? Ah, this is the fun part, hopefully. Assuming it works, it'll be fun. So make sure that wire's not going to be in the way of the shaft. Who was that? Oh, the Ugly Duck Man, thank you very much. There's a weird voice I keep hearing, alright. Thank you, Duckman, thank you very much. Does wonders for my confidence, that. Oh no, I appreciate it, Duck, thank you very much. Right, this is going to be interesting. How do I keep this wire away from the shaft? Like that, I'm guessing. Yeah, that should be fine, shouldn't it? Okay. So let's get this hooked up on both sides. Like that. Find out where I'm going to get it. Yeah, I haven't left that much room for manoeuvre on the motor there. But I should be alright, I should think. So it's going to be about there. Yeah, looks good. So, let's peel it back, put some hot glue on and stick it on. And then if it doesn't work, I'll have to get rid of the hot glue and readjust it. But there is a bit of movement on there, which is what you want. So I'm going to make sure the bogies are straight, because then we know they're equal. And this is the scary part. If it works though, I'll be very happy indeed. Alright, oop, burnt my wrist there with the hot glue gun, steady. Right, just peel the boiling glue off my skin there. Right, are we ready? Let's get the final positioning just right. Alright. So we don't want too much. In fact, what I could probably do is glue it from the underside. No, I won't do that. It'll make a mess. There we are, a few small blobs. Pop that in place. There we go, that seems to have got it nicely. Hopefully that's right. I didn't really get to adjust it. The hot glue seemed to cool off pretty quickly. Just going to move that out of the way again. Grab some tweezers, get rid of all these strands of hot glue before I put this together and try it. There we are, there's the tweezers. And I'm really hoping the body's going to fit on over that. If not, I can see we've got some fun times ahead trying to get it to actually sit perfectly in position, but I think it will be okay, but I'm not sure. Right, a preliminary test then. Can I turn the shafts all right? Yeah, that seems fine. Well, there's no binding up or anything, so that's good. That's a good start. Right, this piece, has it glued? Let's get it in place. That's it. So both bogies are in place, which is good. I'm going to have a job powering this, aren't I? Oh no, I probably could. I could probably get that, grab that other leg of the capacitor actually. Have I got enough wire on the white? No, not really. That's a shame. So I might have to extend that if I can. Let's thread it through the bogie. Might as well make some use of the silly bulb that's in there. Let's snip it off there then. This is a bit of a botch. I wish I'd have realised that it would be too short, but that's all right. So we'll strip a bit of this off. Oops. Nearly hammered into the top of the thing there. No, we're okay. And do the same with a bit of the green. Oh, that's it. if I can zoom in a bit, I can show you this a bit better. Twist them together. Sorry, I can't speak and do this at the same time. I'm not that skilled. Okay, solder them. And then we should have a longer wire, which I put some heat shrink over. Okay, let me just go and find a bit of heat shrink that I can pop on this. Right, bear with me folks, bear with me. I've got some here somewhere. Oh, I can see it, but it's buried. Ah, one sec. I'm going to grab the first box of it I can. Hopefully it's got the right size pieces in it. Well, no it doesn't. Let's get the other box. Right, that'll do. So I just want a small section of heat shrink. It's not important at all really, because there's very few wires in here, but if I had lights or something, I don't want anything shorting together, so we'll plan for the future, and it's always good practice to insulate your joints if you can. So we'll do it. Right, a bit of heat shrink over there then. Over the joint. Yeah, that's a good size piece. Let's get the heat gun on. Make sure we've got some, oh yeah, that's hot. Ouch. And that should shrink down. That's it. So now that can't come off. Good, good, good. Stick that back. And then I can get the length more or less right. So I'll just give it a bit more than what I need. So about there. Oops. There. Okay. Strip that off. Oh, I've got this in the wrong hand now. Oof. Okay. Right, we're close, folks. I think we're really close. Assuming I got the positioning right. I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll see. Because I did leave a bit more on the shafts, obviously there's a bit less room for manoeuvre now, but it seems all right so far. But only time will tell. Okay. And get that on. And we are now fully wired up with a capacitor. 5-pole motor. Very nice. Right. So, how am I going to power this? That's the big question. Well, I'll grab some Lego bricks. Or not Lego bricks. Ah, curse you, whoever told me they're not Lego. I can never finish that sentence now without having to self-correct. Okay. So I'm going to support it with the unpowered wheels. Like that. Okay. We'll lubricate the motor bearings very lightly. And then give it a bit of a test, shall we? A little test run. Let's see. Right. Ooh, I'm nervous. Are you guys nervous? This will be a full house if I get this one right. Although at this point I'm sure it will be fine. The question is whether I need to do more adjusting or not. Right. Should be powered then. Let's give it some juice and see if the thing runs. Hopefully it won't actually dash out of the shot. Oh yeah. Perfect. That is really good. Phew, thank goodness for that. So let's flip it onto its back. Let's speed it up a bit. Oh, it's got some speed to it. And let's clean the wheels. So we've got a bit of hot glue seeping out the bottom there, unfortunately. That might cause problems. I might have to get the soldering iron on that and shift it, but that's not a big problem right now. Right, wheel cleaning. These did look pretty bad actually, so we'll see if I can't fix that. And I believe I did forget to clean one set of unpowered wheels. It doesn't matter because they're not picking up or powered, as I say, but I think it's best just to make sure everything's clean before you put it on the track. And also I don't want my track getting all dirty either. Yeah, the only downside to these is that they've only got 4 wheels picking up. It seems a crying shame on a otherwise beautifully running model, doesn't it? And also the fact that all but 2 of those axles are driven, that's a bit of a shame as well. But actually, given how well that other one runs, that I did last week, I'm not going to complain, because it is such a good runner. Even on express points and things, and it's got no business being, because it's, like I say, got so few pickups, but it really was fine. There we are. I've really enjoyed doing these Mehanos. They've been a good challenge, but they haven't been a complete 3-week-long nightmare. Because some locos are like that, and they're not much fun, are they? It's just the right length of time, couple of hours, not too quick, not too long. Really good, a lot of fun. Right, I'm going to clean the other wheels once the body's on, because I can't support it. And obviously I need to turn those myself. So we'll make sure these are clean. Clean the insides, get a fresh bud and just go over those one more time. Oh, I'm glad it seems to be working well anyway. It's a big weight off my mind. Then, we'll see if I can put the body back on. That will be the moment of truth. It's no good doing this if the body won't fit on afterwards. I think it will. I hope it will. I might be shown up by this big time. Right. Right, turn it off. See if I can get the darn body on then, without the wires touching the shafts. I'm hoping they won't, but we'll see. Right, so the wires are pretty much where I want them to be. This one's got lots of slack on it so that it's well out of the way. Okay. Well, let's grab the body then and see what happens. Now that capacitor needs to be moved out of the way a bit. Or does it? No, it should be alright there actually. Yeah, that's not going to touch. Right, so one of the body clips is missing, which should make it easy. And the handrails are getting in the way actually, of all things. There we are. Well, it's gone on. It's gone over the motor. That's good. Oh, a resounding click. Oh, this is good. I do love this. I'm happy now. I'm happy. It's gone on. It's gone on. Right. Let's get those weights back on the bottom. And then it's all back together again. Until next time. Until I decide I'm going to put my promised lights in and whatnot. But that can be a different time. Let's put the weight on first. Which way did it go? I've got I think my piece of hot glue is getting in the way. Tell you what, I might be able to snip it off. Yes. Well, I've snipped a bit of it off. Yeah. That might be enough. I don't know how much clearance there is. Yeah, that might be enough. Yeah, I think it will be. Now, big question, what did I do with the screws? Ah, yes. I must say I used to be awful for losing screws. I still lose my screwdrivers and everything else, but I seem to be quite good on screws, which is about the only thing I can say positive. Right. Excellent. Well, it's gone together without any problems. I'm happy with that. Happy as Larry. Oh, I don't know who Larry is. Good. So let's clean up some of those non-driving wheels. I think this must be the set I've already cleaned because they look good, but can't remember which I did, so I'll do both. That's it. Then we'll get it on the track, see if it's going to go right. Man, I hope so. It's going to be very embarrassing if not. I think my dodgy little bogie holders are working. This one doesn't seem to be coming off, which is good. Although these wheels aren't that free to turn. Don't know why. Either way, I'm hoping there will be once they're on the track. Yeah, once they, I think it's just touching the, yeah, the wheels are touching the inside of the chassis. Oh, Christian man, thank you very much. Did you know that Duef made HO scale BR class? Yes, I did know, under the Playcraft brand. I have a green one, and it's Toy Light. Oh, is it Toy Light, really? I think is it Mark Filcher that's got one? I think that's where I saw one first on his channel. But yeah, they seem quite decent, mechanically speaking, anyway. Right, let's do it. Let's do a track test then, shall we? Are you ready? Are you going to wish the little engine good luck? Let's see if it runs as nicely as the other one did. Hopefully it will. Let's have a good look drink. And here we go. So first things first, did I get all the bogie mountings right? Will it sit nicely on the track? Let's hope so. Okay. Tell you what, there's quite a lot of slack in my bogie mountings. I reckon that springing idea I had might have been a good idea. But we shall see. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Is it going to work or is it going to flop? Mechanically it works, but are the pickups functioning? Let's find out. Oh, okay, it's working. Oh, nice, nice. Well, let's do a bit of going forwards and back. Try it on the express points. Yeah, it's very nice, it's very nice. Perhaps it's not quite as quiet as the other Mehano. Yes, it is hesitating a bit over the points. They desperately need extra pickups putting in. For fancier projects I might do that one day, but it's working well enough. Right, big question then, can it crawl? That's what we're going to find out next. Let's bring it to a stop right in the middle, about there. Right, can it crawl? The other one could, but because of the dodgy pickups it seemed to keep stalling, so let's see if this one's any better. Oh, thank you so much, whoever that was. I will come and check that in a sec. Hey, look at that though. Can you even see that that's moving? Because I know the camera's not dead close. There's no way this would have done this with the old motor in there. No way. Hey, that's better. I would say that's better than the other Mehano. Let's see if I can slow it down even more. Oh, good grief. That is, can you tell that is moving? That is creeping forwards. Oh, no, it's not stopping. I can still hear it. Wow, that is wonderful. Look, to prove it's not stalled, I will turn it up slowly. In fact, you can probably see it moving, but I'll turn it up slowly without touching it. There we go, you can see it going now. That is wonderful. What a difference that makes. Amazing. Right, I'm really happy with that. Once again, the cheap 5-pole motor that cost me £1, was this one? I think the double-ended shafts were a bit more expensive. Might have been £1.99. Oh, it doesn't like the express point though. Don't try and crawl over that. Either way, less than £2 it was. And look at that performance. That is really good. Okay, so off camera, after I finish the stream, I think what I'll have to do is clean up the chassis again and then try and glue some of those handrails together because they look a bit of a state, don't they? But besides that, that is really, really good. I can't believe how nicely that runs. So let's move that off into a running in period. There we go, leave that going. I'll come and take a look at the chat to see how you guys are getting on, and then I'll call it a day, I think. That's a good job, well done. Right, let's just check how it's getting on with the curves. Yeah, very much so, it's fine. I'll let you know, in fact, I'll leave the camera on it until it's, until on the track that is, till it's done a full lap, and then we'll celebrate then when I know it gets around all my curves. Seems fine though, it's done the second radius straight away, so I think we're good. There you go, that's one lap complete. I'll leave it going because it needs to run in that new motor. Right, who was that I missed? Let's have a look. It was Kelly. It's nothing but bad luck. What's bad luck, Kelly? I thought I had pretty good luck. Right, Triang is greater than Hornby, says Luke Hill. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know, maybe their business ideology was better. I don't know. At least you tried, says Drew. At least I tried, what do you mean? It's good, it's working. Oliver Beardsall, hi to you too. George Botterini, oh, thank you very much. Thank you to you. Jack says test light bulb. Yeah, go on then, we could test the light bulb. I ended up unwittingly testing the last one, didn't I? Oh no, I can't, it's on the model, isn't it? I forgot I hadn't taken it off. I can't test the light bulb then, sorry about that. Yeah, I accidentally tested the last one I did because I accidentally put it in series with the motor, which of course will stop the motor running and just light the bulb. You forgive me for my Chinese comment, says SLD51. It was a positive comment. I was saying how amazing these Chinese motors are for such low cost. It's a good thing. Someone donated, Sam. Yeah, I saw that, John. Yeah, I did. It was George. I think it was George, wasn't it? Yeah, it was George. Thank you very much, George. With the handrail, says Drew. Yeah, the handrails are not going to be fun, to the point where I won't do that on stream, I've decided, because it's going to be a lot of me just holding handrails together while I wait for glue to go off, and then repeat and repeat. Triang Chuff Chuff Tender is greater than DCC sound. Ooh, I don't know if most people would agree with that. Maybe it's more fun. I might be willing to stretch to that, but I don't know about greater. Nova1187, yeah, you can have a shout out, no problem. Sam is as nutty as a fruitcake, Kelly says. Well, so I've been told. No comment on my part. Jared, yeah, I hope everyone has a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever, morning, I guess. I know it's morning in Virginia, someone told me that already. James Chorley, sure, you can have a shout out, of course. Somebody, I don't have links to the motor, but if you literally type in 12-24V for volt, 5 pole, you will find the motor in question, and you'll recognise it. As long as you're buying 12 to 24 volt, it should work. They're all the same size, as long as you buy one that looks right. There's no similar ones that are different sizes, is what I'm saying. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. That is a full house so far as Mehano's concerned. That one's got more aesthetic work to do, as I've said. Those handrails I'm not looking forward to doing. But I think they will be doable, so that's all right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that one. Different Loco next. Let me just grab it. Here we go. So I think it will be, is it probably Friday now? Yeah, next stream Friday. I'm going to be starting with this one. Shouldn't be so much of a challenge. Obviously, I'm not going to be remotoring this one, but we'll be testing the motor, seeing if this works. This would have been produced probably, I don't know, 50 years ago at the very least. Will this one still work? It's not been run for years and years, decades in fact. So that's going to be next time's job. Really looking forward to that one. It's been a long while since I've done one of the Triang 040s. So for those saying Triang's greater than Hornby and all that, you'll like that. Fix Garrett, says Luke Hill. I've been told that those K's Garretts aren't good runners, even at the best of times. So I'm not sure I'll have much luck with that. Maybe we'll try it, but it's difficult. Because the valve gear needs fixing, and I don't know how to fix it without botching it. So you'll have to let me know in the comments. Do you think, would it be acceptable if I botched it for the sake of the stream and for the sake of getting it running? I botched that Jubilee valve gear and it works, but I was lucky. So now you know, I don't admit that I know Chinese. Oh, I thought you meant the cheap motor comment, SLD51. Oh no, I don't know Chinese. It was just a mispaste, I think, the Chinese comment I sent. I'm not smart enough to learn Chinese. Goodness me, no. Alright folks, you take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoyed this, especially if you've got nothing else to do, if you're in isolation or whatever. So I hope that was some entertainment for you. Mehano diesels. What a lot of fun they are. It's still running quite happily. Excellent. Very good. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Video tomorrow, of course, so stay tuned for that. There won't be anything on Thursday, but Friday I'll be back for another stream, all being well. So thank you so much, folks. Thank you, everyone, for donating. You didn't have to do that at all, but I better just go through and thank you guys that have. So it was Trace Pierce, D. Rosera 88, Mr. Jodge, Kelly Ashford, The Ugly Duckman, Whammy Radio by Christian Mann, and of course George Botterini. Thank you all very, very much for your kind support. I will see you very soon. Alright, have a good day folks, have a good day.